Hello, hi friends, Carolyn here. Happy weekend. I had a little bit more caffeine than I usually do because I don't usually have hardly any caffeine, and I had an espresso this morning with full caff, so got a little caffeination going on. But I was really inspired, and I had an opportunity. My mom took my son to the park. My mom's visiting for the weekend. And I was like, I really want to jump on Facebook Live today and share some tools because I've been personally feeling overwhelmed. So these are tools that I've been putting in practice. And I've been hearing a lot from women, both moms who are having kids go back to school and just women that are busy working women that don't have any kids and are just feeling like this change in season and a big feeling of wanting to embrace change. Maybe it's spring if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, or here in the Northern Hemisphere, here in Chicago, it's fall. And it just is an opportunity for something fresh, something new. And there's a lot of excitement, I feel like, with any change in season. But then there's also kind of an overwhelm that happens because there's a lot to do. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of activities. I was trying to connect with some friends for the weekend, and they're like, oh my gosh, I have this and this and this and this going on. And it's just like everyone seems super busy right now. And so it's really easy to feel overwhelmed. So I wanted to jump on, and I had a yes moment because my son is with my mom at the park. So I was like, hey, I'm not fully ready. I'm gonna embrace yes though, and choose this yes moment and do a live, even though it might not be perfect. So you guys bear with me. I see some folks jumping on. If you can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and maybe put in the comments where you're from. And if there's anything that what are you feeling overwhelmed about? Because I think I'm not the only one. So if you don't mind sharing, maybe just put in the comments, like, what's the thing you're feeling most overwhelmed about right now? And, or just that, yes, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Just be like, yes, raise your hand and say like, I'm feeling it too. So hopefully these tools will help you. Hopefully these are 3 things that you can just take and be like, okay, cool. I can maybe try one of them and see if it brings a little bit of relief. So hi guys, thanks for jumping on. And thanks for the thumbs up. It always helps to just know that the net connection's good and we're good to go. All right, so like I said, big change in season. We got a lot of things happening. No matter if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're having fall come, or you're in the Southern Hemisphere. I know I have a lot of folks that watch and join in from Argentina, and spring is coming. There's a lot happening right now, and any change in season brings a lot of shifts. I find in particular that the coming of fall and the coming of spring are kind of bigger markers and a big shift in energy. And so there's that feeling of like, I want to get something started, something new for this change of season, and change some habits. And then it's sort of like that feeling of overwhelm of like, but wait, where do I begin? And I've got so much on my plate. I have this desire, and I know what my goal is maybe, but how do I get there? And there can be that feeling of overwhelm when there's that gap between like desire and the goal, and trying to figure out how to get there. Or even if you know how to get there, even if you know X, Y, and Z, I need to do these 3 things or whatever to get you to that goal, it's more of like, but how do I make it happen to do those X, Y, and Z things? So anyone relate to that? Can you understand that? I mean, like, it just feels like we can know what to do, exactly what to do, but to actually make it happen is the golden ticket. So the number 1 thing is to just start, and to just start with the easiest thing. So start with the easy stuff. Whatever, so for example, I want to give you an example because I think it always helps to have some concrete things to work with, is yesterday I had a super long laundry list of to-do things, and I had a short window of time because Fridays are short days that my son's in school. So I only had a bit of about 3 hours to work, and I usually have 5. And so I had, shortened amount of time, but this super long list of things to do. And I was like halfway into my time, and I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I haven't even gotten like more than a couple things checked off. Anyone else feel that too sometimes, where you're just like, I have so much to do, and yet they're like hitting yourself against the wall because you're just like, I can't even, like, nothing's working, nothing's coming together. You're having this tech issue, or you're having just things come up. And so that was kind of me yesterday. And those days happen. And I was just like, okay, feeling overwhelmed. So acknowledging that. And then I looked at my list and I said, what would give me like a really big boost? What would help me feel like less overwhelmed? And I just looked at it and I said, bam, this one. I know I can knock this one off really quickly It's a straightforward task. It's something really easy. I knew it was gonna give me a small win. And so I just went straight for that easy win, that easy task, and started there. And just was like, okay, I'm gonna start with this super easy thing, even though it might not have been like the top priority for my day. I felt like I wasn't making any headway. So I was just like, I'm gonna start here. Easiest task, do that, get a small win. And you guys, it totally worked. It totally helped. I tried it before, and just start with the easy stuff. So number one is just start with the easy stuff. So get those small wins, get some momentum going. So how this would look like, if you want to think about it, I mean, I'm talking about my work day. If you want to think about it in your fitness or nutrition, always start with the easy stuff. Just get that extra low-hanging fruit, just knock it down, get some small wins, feel really good, and that's gonna give you a shot in the arm and help you just kind of get that momentum going. So some examples. With nutrition, it could be to pick this easiest thing that it is for you to implement. So maybe it's either cutting something out, like if you're drinking soda, cutting that out or switching to diet. Or it's adding something in. If you're not eating vegetables very much, it could be adding vegetables to at least 2 meals of your day if you hardly get any at all. Or maybe it's getting them at every meal of the day and increasing your vegetables. That's always a big goal of mine and the ladies in the Magic Makers movement. I think some of you guys are watching now. So that is, just trying to find that easy thing. So just picking the easiest thing that you can do. Maybe it's making sure you get protein with every meal. That can be really helpful at helping keep your blood sugar stable and curbing your cravings. For example, with exercise, trying to get that small win by just getting started with the easy stuff. So we like to just, especially with exercise, I find, people want to start big. They want to jump into, sign up for a big boot camp program, or they want to go join a gym on January 1st and commit to doing, or sign up with a personal trainer even. I've had clients do that in the past when I was doing a lot of personal training in Buenos Aires. And they just get really gung-ho and they're just like, I'm gonna do hour-long workouts 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm gonna do this, invest all this money. And even with money invested, it's happened so often that it's just overwhelming. It's too much. It's a too big of a chunk to totally redo their schedule to make that time commitment happen, that it ends up not sticking. It's not something that, it's not an easy start. They're starting, which is awesome, but they're starting with the hard stuff instead of starting with the easy stuff. So my tip, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you wanna get from what you're getting excited about making change, and you know what your goal is and you maybe know what to do, but you're not sure how to get there. So this is how to get there. And how to get there is to start with the easy stuff. I see my mom coming home with my son. So they're in the backyard. So I'm giving her. So anyway, so start with the easy stuff, and to just really get those small wins and to try and get some momentum going. Hopefully those examples help for you. And then the second one is to seek out your yes moments. I did mine today. I was trying to get my yes moment, and my mom's coming back now with my son. It was that I had this window opportunity to jump on live when the house was quiet, and I jumped on it. So I talk about yes moments a lot. I've talked to them on lives before. I talk about them a lot with the Commit to Fit Challenge group that I've worked with a few times, and my Magic Makers movement coaching group. And that is to kind of have to rewire our brain. Instead of the default of looking for negative or what's wrong, where we can't do things, it's reshifting it to figure out what you can do, and then to take those opportunities and just immediately take action on it. So my example for this, because I'm gonna have to wrap up a little faster than I wanted to, an example of this would be the yes moment that we're gonna be doing in the Commit to Fit Challenge starting on Monday, is to just claim 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and so maybe it's gonna be right before you have dinner, or right before you have your, as soon as you get out of bed in the morning. Most people can find 5 to 10 minute pockets of time. And again, right? It's start with the easy stuff instead of start with an hour. Like, it's a lot harder to find an hour chunk of time in a day, but if you can find 10 minutes, I bet you totally can. Just maybe don't watch this video or don't scroll through social media. I want you to watch this video, of course, but you get my point. Like, we start watching things and then we start, it goes down the rabbit tunnel, or the rabbit, what do they call it? The rabbit hole, or you just kind of get lost scrolling. I mean, I'm totally guilty of this. Anyone else? Can you just give me a like or hands raised for that? Yes, because we can waste tons of time just scrolling or Googling, going on YouTube, looking at videos. And instead of doing that, find the yes moment. See that maybe is like, okay, if you're just retuning your brain, it's like a pitch, you know, like changing it, tuning it to a different pitch. And instead of the negative, like default mode that our brain is kind of wired into from society and from our birth, it's attuning it to the positive and to look for those opportunities and immediately taking action on the easy stuff. And that's what we'll be doing, exactly what we'll be doing in the Commit to Fit Challenge starting Monday. If you haven't already signed up, there's still time. So we get started Monday. Come join us. I'm going to put the sign up in the comment below, or you can go to the page on my Banner page and just click on the sign up link there too if you want to. It's completely free. And the third thing I want to make sure to touch on, and if you already signed up, say it. I'm in the comments. Please put it in the comments. I'm in, joining us. There's a lot of people that have been joining in from all over the world, and it's been really fun to see all those names coming in from lots of new names. We've done this before a few times, and there's tons of new ladies jumping in, so it's been really fun. Okay, last thing before I wrap up and my son comes back in the house is to celebrate your wins. So often we just brush them by. We just say, oh, you know, I did this thing, and yay, for like a second. We finally achieve a goal, and we don't really like take the time to soak it up. And I just want to, if you're feeling overwhelmed in particular, it's so helpful to celebrate those small wins. So we want to celebrate the big ones, and definitely, by all means, please celebrate those big ones. It's super fun. But what about the small wins? What about the choice that you made to seize that yes moment? Maybe yesterday was a really hard day for you and you weren't able to get in. Hey, Cynthia. Maybe you weren't able to get in a full workout, but you still kept that placeholder in your day and you got your 5 minutes in and you stayed committed to that. You found the yes moment, and you started with the easy thing, and you did that, and you stayed committed to that. And instead of beating yourself up about, like, right, we could choose to beat ourselves up about not doing the bigger thing, the perfect thing, and instead we could celebrate, and this is what I want you to try and do, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed, celebrate those small things, especially the small things, because the small things are when we stay consistent with that, when we keep choosing to not be perfect, when we keep choosing to show up imperfect instead of postponing because we're not perfect, that's when you're gonna get the bigger wins. Because if you stay consistent with the small stuff, you're gonna get the big stuff. You're not gonna get the big stuff without some of the hard work of doing the mindset work around, okay, I gotta be okay with this. It's not perfect, but it's gonna keep me in the game. It's gonna keep me consistent. All right, you guys relate to this? Can you kind of understand what I'm getting at? That it's a mindset thing over anything else. Like, I can give you tools all day, but until you kind of step back and you say, okay, yeah, my brain is kind of hardwired to see the negative, and what I really need to do is shift it and attune it to try and find those positives. So, right, the yes moments. So kind of 1 and 2 of my tips are kind of tied together. So finding number 1 is like tuning your mind, like reshifting towards the mindset of positive and looking for opportunities, those yes moments. And number 2 is to just start, to start with the easy stuff. And the easy stuff is often tempting to overlook because we're more interested in the shiny object that looks perfect. So you gotta start ditching the perfect. Again, that's mindset, where you're gonna be okay with the smaller stuff that's maybe not as perfect. And just start there. Start with the small stuff, because when we're consistent with that, with those small when you're consistent with the small imperfect things, you're gonna get the bigger goals. You're gonna get those, like that big weight loss you've been trying to work for, but always keeps eluding you. You're gonna finally get that body that you're really craving because you're really wanting to look a bit more toned and strong, or you're gonna get that strength that you're wanting because you're just feeling like your posture's not good, or you're constantly giving yourself to others and you're not really investing in yourself. You're gonna get those bigger goals. You're finally gonna get your nutrition nailed down because you stay consistent with slowly making changes over time that add up. It's hard to shift, and you gotta just gradually peel off with your nutrition things that aren't serving you over time. But if you consistently, staying aware and making those small shifts, it's going to add up to a permanent change and healthy eating. So those are the things that you're working for. Imperfect, consistent action. So finding those yes moments, attuning to the positive, starting with the easy stuff and starting, you know, really choosing those imperfect things over the shiny object perfect things, and then celebrating each and every one of those small wins, especially the smaller the better, because it's easy to celebrate the big ones, but we won't get those big ones unless we celebrate all the small ones along the way. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. I totally, yes, and some of the ladies from the Magic Makers Movement, my coaching group, are on, and they are all stars. They've been consistently doing the imperfect actions over and over again, and it adds up, and they're rock stars at just showing up, finding those yes moments, and staying consistent with starting. And maybe it's starting with the smaller, the easier things, and that's okay. We can be like, almost like feel guilty about that, but don't feel guilty about it. Start with the easy stuff. That's the good stuff to get you those wins, to get you feeling confident and that you can do it, and you get you invested in the process, and then keep celebrating along the way, and you're gonna keep reinforcing that habit as you go forward. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. As I'm wrapping up, I'm so grateful to my mom. She's playing with my son in the backyard. Let me see if I can actually turn this around so you can see them. They're so cute there. I don't know if you can see them. Awesome. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the Commit to Fit Challenge. I mentioned it a couple times when I was talking. I'm going to put the link to sign up. It's, I think, the third or fourth time I've run it. It's been really popular, really successful in the sense of that women get lasting change. I've had so many women who started off really inconsistent with exercise, and they've been able to not only get consistent and just like change their mindset around it and feel really good about it and know that they trust themselves, that even if it's not perfect, they can keep coming back to it and keep showing up, and that leads up to weight loss and just increased energy and so many wins that have been so fun to celebrate with them. And so that starts on Monday, September 10th, and we're gonna go for 10 days, and the goal is to do at least 10 minutes of intentional movement every day for those 10 days straight. And by intentional movement, I'm gonna be sharing workouts with you, so you're gonna get brand new full length, so you can work out in real time with me, workout or yoga class every day of the challenge. So you'll have something you can just plug and go with, or you can choose your own intentional movement. It could be maybe doing your own workout. You could pick something from YouTube. You can share with the group what else you're doing. Totally fine. You don't have to use my workouts and yoga. Totally fine. But we're going to be moving intentionally, carving out that time, finding those yes moments every day to do at least 10 minutes. And I encourage you to use weights. So she wants to come inside. All right, enough from me. I will see you guys soon. Shoot me any questions, and if you already signed up for the challenge, say, yes, I'm doing it. I'm already signed up. I know a lot of you have shared. Please share with friends, and I'll see you guys again. I'm going to try and jump in on again tomorrow for another live, so keep an eye out for that, and I'll see those of you in the challenge on Monday in the group. Bye.